What's going on, everyone? Climate Data Report here with the weather forecast for the week ahead for Sunday, June 11th, 2023. If you are new to my channel, welcome to my channel and consider subscribing down below. I provide weather updates for the United States during all active periods and when there are major weather events happening. And right now is certainly an active period. We are watching two weather systems, one which is in the Ohio Valley right now, and eventually will be coming over to mid-Atlantic, which should provide some much needed rainfall for the drought-stricken area. Not everyone is going to see a lot of rain, but it should be enough that it should at least help somewhat. We're also watching out here on the west coast this system that continues to spin and provide showers and thunderstorms, and we're also watching some ongoing thunderstorms which just started to develop in Texas. Taking a look at the national radar picture, you can see we have this system out in the west of California, places like Utah, the Rocky Mountains. You are seeing some rainfall today. And then we have this other system, which is over the Ohio Valley. One cluster of thunderstorms and showers is moving through the Carolinas. Another is developing back across Tennessee and Kentucky, where there has been severe weather this afternoon. And you can see we have these showers and thunderstorms, which are developing in Texas, and they are turning severe as well. Taking a look at the national hazards map, as you can see in the pinkish color here, there are several areas of severe thunderstorm watches, this pinkish purple color that has evolved, and that's issued by the National Weather Service and the Storm Prediction Center. There's also some flood watches that are in effect across portions of California and Nevada. Let's take a look at the expected severe weather areas from the Storm Prediction Center. You can see this large enhanced risk area for portions of Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, and even portions of Arkansas. And there's a slight risk surrounding this, which does go back into Texas. Then you have a slight risk for portions of New Mexico, northern Texas, western Oklahoma, southwest Kansas, and portions of Colorado. Tornado threats, there are two tornado threat areas today. It's just 2%, but there have already been tornado warnings within this 2% area here in Kentucky and Tennessee, and there's also a 2% here back across extreme northwest Texas, northeastern portions of New Mexico, southern portions of Colorado, and even into western Oklahoma. The bigger threat today in all areas is wind, and of course there is a hail threat as well, with a hatched hail area in Texas where there could be some really large hail reports with those thunderstorms that are developing. Let's take a look at the Weather Prediction Center, and you can see there is a slight risk of excessive heavy rainfall across portions of Colorado today and Oklahoma, with a large marginal risk out west and a marginal risk in the east. And as we advance into tomorrow, multiple slight risk areas of excessive rainfall within a large marginal risk area that is set up essentially from Louisiana on up into Nevada, with those two slight risk areas in between. And yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. Marginal risk for excessive heavy rainfall across portions of New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and New York tomorrow, because you are finally going to see some much needed rainfall. Quickly, take a look at the National Hurricane Center. We have nothing to report on there. The tropics are quiet right now. Take a look at the latest satellite and picture here, and you can see the area that we are going to be watching. We'll be watching down here in the Caribbean over the next couple weeks. There's been some hints that there could be some tropical activity that gets going there. The GFS has been stubbornly insistent that it's going to happen there, while the Canadian and the Europeans say, not so fast. We'll have to watch if the GFS is onto something. Again, that's well over a week out, and quite honestly, I'm not really concerned about it right now. What I am more so concerned about is these current weather happenings. Here's the system that's ongoing in the Ohio Valley. This system is going to eventually move eastward. It's not a terribly strong system, but look at this. You do get showers and thunderstorms that erupt again tomorrow in Pennsylvania. And there could be one or two severe storms that produce wind with this tomorrow. You also see tomorrow showers and thunderstorms again across portions of the west, and even into Texas, where, yes, you are still under a drought, and this is beneficial for you. And as I advance this further, there's going to be another round of showers and thunderstorms on Tuesday across the Gulf Coast region, and eventually that's going to move into the Carolinas. This area of low pressure eventually just stalls over the Great Lakes, and there's waves of energy that will rotate around it. So we will watch for showers and thunderstorms across Ohio and western Pennsylvania, even into Wednesday. And again, this is a drought stricken region, so this is something we're going to have to watch. Let's take a look at the 84-hour rainfall totals from the RGM model, which I'm using here. And you can see 1 to 2 inches of rainfall across Pennsylvania, across Ohio. This is well needed. And you can see here widespread 1 to 2 inches in the Gulf Coast region, with isolated 2 to 4 inch amounts, especially around the Carolinas, where you're going to see multiple rounds of showers and thunderstorms, and a general 1 to 2 inches across portions of western Kansas and Colorado. Could even be isolated 3 inches amount of rainfall. Moving on now to the longer range picture here, we'll take a look at the 18Z GFS, which is still coming in. Here's that system that sets up over the Great Lakes. As I advance this, you can see another round of showers and thunderstorms Wednesday evening, and this could be potentially slight risk worthy, and there will definitely be some wind with this, some hail, maybe even an isolated tornado. Also the threat of some flash flooding. So this is something that we have to watch. And as we get into next weekend, we have to watch. There'll be more rounds of showers and thunderstorms, as you can see here in the plains, and also in Illinois and Indiana. As I further advance this into next weekend, things become a bit more uncertain. There's the potential that we may see a long rotation, slow moving system that sets up here in the east, because you have this high to the north that's going to try and block things, and it could become a very active pattern with multiple rounds of showers and thunderstorms from the Ohio Valley through the mid-Atlantic as we head into the following week. Taking a look here at the temperatures for this upcoming week, you can see we will have another humid day in the northeast. It'll be warm. Temperatures will get up into the 80s. As you can see in the south, it is going to remain warm in Texas for multiple days. Temperatures as high as 100 degrees are expected tomorrow across south and southwest Texas. But look at this. As we get over to the Great Lakes, where that low is going to be sitting for a couple days, you're going to have below average temperatures. And that is eventually going to move into the northeast. Look at this on Thursday. While we do have the heat building in the south, below average temperatures in the northeast, below average temperatures in the Pacific Northwest. And as I advance this, much of the week, Texas, you're going to be well above average temperatures. Heat indexes will be well above 100. Temperatures will reach 100. And look, as we head into next weekend, multiple days with temperatures in the mid to upper 90s, even touching near 100 in Louisiana. So hot times ahead for you, but again, look at the northeast. Not terribly hot, as you can see here. Below average temperatures. These are 60s in Pennsylvania. I think that's a little bit too cold, but I can't rule out highs in the 70s in Pennsylvania, where highs should normally be near 80 at this time of year. Look at the Pacific Northwest. This is, the peak heating of the day next Sunday, and you can see in the Pacific Northwest, yes, highs in the 50s, because you're going to be stuck in this below average temperature pattern. Taking a look at the drought situation, we are finally getting some relief here across the Ohio Valley and portions of the Mid-Atlantic, Pennsylvania. But it's not going to be enough to erase the drought. The drought is going to remain beyond tomorrow's storm chance in this area. 1 through 7 day rainfall, yes, there is definitely a flooding threat in the south that is going to continue, as you can see here. And there's also going to be, the risk for these showers and thunderstorms in the northeast. It's going to provide some beneficial rainfall. It's not going to be enough to end the drought. Not everyone's going to see them. You can see they do have some 3-inch amounts shaded here. We'll have to see if that actually pans out. And moving on to the temperature outlook, 6 to 10 days. Below average in the northeast, below average in the west. Above average temperatures in between. 8 to 14 day outlook. Above average temperatures in the plains. Below average temperatures continuing in the northeast and the west coast. Precipitation, slightly above average 6 to 10 days across the Tennessee Valley on up through the northeast. Well above average in the west. I mean, this is very beneficial for the reservoirs in the west. Texas, slightly below average and hot, so that's not good for the drought situation. Above average precipitation on the 8 to 14 day outlook in the northwest. And in the east on the 8 to 14 days, look at this. Above average precipitation across the Carolinas. Below average again in Texas. Not good for the drought situation. A lot of this in the east will depend on what that active pattern does that sets up after this week going into the following week. We could see some mesoscale convective activity, which could mean severe thunderstorm threats. We'll have to watch that because the ridge may potentially set up right along from Illinois down through the Carolinas, and that would be the projection path for mesoscale convective system. Alrighty, that does it for today's weather update. We will have another update in the near future on the upcoming expected weather as needed. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe to my channel down below. Thanks for watching, everyone.